emphasis over towards Meiran. We go a little bit further south here. The game actually does open up for E-Arena mainly. Fourth Rise also have a good capability of leaving from this area. Wonder how many vehicles they've still got left with the tires in play. Yasser will take down Bozi, and that's the end of Flash. I mean, Nongshim Red Force has been consistently peppering that engagement, but it is Alula who's got away with the majority of the points on that one with 11.
Yeah, there's been a lot of harassment of all of these squads from Nongshim and Four Thrives, consistently taking pot shots out, making the fights more uncomfortable for either team involved. For E-Arena, if Nongshim actually keep this up in terms of a safe placement in the zone, some big plays, you might need to shut them down. Going to pull slightly away from their setup, though, centering up around the Four Thrives crew of E-Arena, knowing they can advance a little bit on this.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity now for Four Thrives going forward. Get a chicken dinner here. You set yourselves up to get potentially into Smash ruling by match 2, by the end of match 2. Very cool to see both E-Arena and Nongshim Red Force. None of it was small talk at the start of the day. They were certainly looking to make it very, very difficult for any other team immediately going into match 2. Putting the worry on, requiring teams to keep tabs on them, potentially even hunt them down to keep their tournament alive. Because as soon as they smash, the game's finished. There's no longer any more opportunity to rectify those mistakes from previous days. You will just be locked in where you currently stand, which is why it's such great news that Four Thrives are having such a big pop-off here on game 1.
They're bringing the heat, showing that they're handy with the steel. And for Alula, try as they might to absorb points from this lobby, they're so far down that it's been uncomfortable.
What happened there?
I mean, it was danger close, mate. He got one knock onto OG, but it took down a member amongst the commotion for Four Thrives.
T24 netting out for Falak, like you say, a bit of an accidental play there, but not the one you want to see. You always praise Falak's gunplay. Basically a legend in close quarters, so to lose him in an urban finish, disastrous result here. Hyunbin, though, will find R3B to send a nade over the top immediately to confirm.
Yes, they saw the rotation from Hora, hard committing to get past them, now trying to get into the zone themselves. Meanwhile, Nongshim Red Force actually getting vision of their entry point, and they've instantly dispatched 2 of the players. They're pincered as well, Velula on the other side. So this is a ton of info for Nongshim and some extra points.
Look at this shot from Doc. Really, really good stuff. Double spray down on the roll-up is crazy, even before they get anywhere close to the compound itself. And not a single dash of damage sent back his way. Very, very nice initial game here from Aurora, but they have a long way to go. Nick McGalaxy currently holding the backside on that southern edge. S2G blasting bullets in as Alula holds back Flash over towards the water side. Aaron out in the open, waits for the reload to come through and then makes the cross. Good timing on that one.
These two sides hounding each other the entire time on Rondo. Feels like they're mirroring each other. Ooh, Orangutan from the side getting a look in as well. Soke feels that one, gotta drop off. Meanwhile, the team with a whole load of elims and Godlike wrapping down potentially to get a bit of a scout over towards the setup from E-Arena, Blank.
E-Arena would be really bad to go out right now, and I can actually tell that E-Arena is playing fairly passive because they didn't take the opportunity, despite being ahead of OG, to hit Meiran hard. OG's actually been able to take up that position. But E-Arena, they want to live this game out. They are really giving a lot of teams liberties right now just to survive. One knock goes back over towards Godlike's way. They will reassess. But it's not carnage just yet.
No, it's not, but it is a little bit of a crowbar that's been dashed at them, slowing them down on their potential aggressive play. That was from Four Thrives as well, by the way. And yeah, we're hyping up the Godlike maneuvers, but they're currently sat on 11 elims themselves. And if they can vie for control of a decent position off the back of this skirmish inside, hey, Maybe 4 Thrives are coming alive early.
What's great for 4 Thrives, right? In PMGO Season 1, they were sort of the back seat because they came in with Smash Point very early on the first day. And I think that pressure got to them a little bit. It went all the way to match 6. They weren't able to put a lot of points, but they managed to make it through. The arena, though, sending over. Joker does need to reinforce those backlines. Good shots from Schweppes, but immediately gets taken down by Huzaifa at distance. Manya up to the rock, but realizes he's got to push back off this one. Tourniquet, full broadside here. Manya should be able to pick up this flush. Good nade again, though. Now just S-Power. A lot to do, but this is the man to do it.
He's the clutch factor. Whoa, saved by the bell on the nade, so low. Able to keep his head above water for a few more seconds.
Good bounce back.
Squad,
oh my God.
Bounces over, shuts down S-Power. Salme out, Adamino, the only one left now. That deployable cover barely keeping him alive.
3 players up still for E Arena, looking to get further into this game. Admino might be able to go for the res if he goes for it now. I think they're going to sweep round in the vehicle, try and figure out what's going on back there. S-Power still down, knocked. Schweppes moves up, goes for the drive-by, has the information, and that is godlike out. So a good refresh on the gear, at least for E Arena. Some more nades available, more ammo. They could swing back down towards that compound on the south side they held earlier on, because this is a hard south shift away from Meiran. E Arena from Gatka.
Terrible. I mean, honestly, you just disrupted this lobby so much, and Tiamba are devastated. Now down to just 2 single players. Aching jumps out, just desperate, trying to do something for his squad, and Eagle is just standing still, just saying, like, not like this. Not like this.
Horror have been a little bit quieter during the course of these finals. Not the fans, that is, the players. The fans have been plenty loud and we've loved it, but they haven't quite had the performance that we were maybe expecting from them coming into the games in these finals. It's not going to be enough. I don't see them catching up when we've already got 2 teams in that Smash zone. It is a bit unfortunate. It is not great, but they can look pretty good in game. We know that. And one of the ways that you can look good in game at home is with the Naruto skins. Make sure you're heading into game to pick up the character sets, the Ninetales Fury Org, and you can look as good as anyone taking on those ninja challenges.
Yeah, get that ninjutsu going. And honestly, yeah, it seems like Aura, OG, they're going to need to bust some of that out if they want to be able to make a crazy run for it. Mathematically, it is still possible, right? If Aura, they start with 3, they're going to need a 20-point game here, a 20-point game in the next one, and maybe even another one after that.
It's triple back-to-back.
It's triple back-to-backs, you know what I'm saying? We still have enough games to do it. It's just going to be tough, especially considering that you got there's going to be quite a few teams in that Smash zone very, very quickly here. That's if this game even continues on after this one. So a lot of different factors to play out. The problem also is the fact that we get later and later into this tournament, the desperation is going to raise tremendously, right? So these teams in the mid-pack are going to even start playing hyper-aggressive because they're going to know, right? Their coaches are going to tell them, hey, man, look, you made it all the way over here to Paris, all right? You either get 20 points or this was all for nothing at a certain point, right?
Well, that's, I mean, there's still placements on the line and all of that sort of thing. I'm just looking at the map at the moment, and I'm seeing that Nongshim Red Force might be in with their first fight in a moment, which is going to enlighten the rest of the lobby as to sort of where they're playing, what sort of conflicts they could be running into. A 2-2 split across Milta right now for Nongshim, as they did not fully or firmly hold the bridge against Alula, so that crossing does come through. And that central glut of teams, and now they start to take shots. Alula in the hovercraft have plenty of armor to rebuff the first volley, but there's more still being flung down range, and that's going to have to divert them on the long road. They find the knock, and there's the flush. Nongshim Red Force extract the first point.
Wow, okay, so they end up getting a point on that. Pretty wild. And Alula are in this next circle, down a player. The thing is, though, if any team nearby happen to hear those shots, they know where Nongshim Red Force is now. So that is going to be a factor, but they are in a really good spot for this circle for now.
I mean, teams should be aware, right, of where they're playing based on the fact that it was Alula that they knocked, and Nongshim Red Force generally going to be in this sort of location. They'll know that Alula are coming up from Novo. So it should be a pretty pretty certain bead on it for a lot of teams in the lobby, but nobody is likely to send out this way. Maybe Aurora could try and crash into it and cause some problems. Vitality are actually holding the west bridge, which is interesting, over on that ferry pier side of things. So if Aurora decide, you know what, we're not going to go over to that east side, we're going to try and break west, Vitality is still lying in wait for it, which I'm not too sure about. I'm not sure if I like that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough here as you got some pretty wild rotations here. Speaking of wild rotations, we got Enigma Galaxy rocking their 2-2 split.
The same again.
Same again. You know, I actually talked to Ralph a little earlier this morning, asked them like, hey, you're going to continue to do it? They're like, yeah, you know, it's worked for us in the past. We're going to try it out. We've noticed that on the west side, had a little bit of unluck with some pretty crazy pushes, but we're going to give it our shot here, and we'll see if it pays off for them.
I mean, they did win a chicken dinner from a circle similar to this, on a rotation similar to this. Obviously, it was a different lobby. It was a different time. We were different people, Jukes. We were so much younger.
We've grown so much.
Yeah, exactly. We've come so far, but they're going to look for that regroup at some point. Getting through for that regroup is really the difficult part that we've seen for Enigma Galaxy on this regroup rotation. Getting through the glut of teams right now, I'm not too sure how that's going to work. They may have to go on the boat, maybe head up all the way north of the Popka and go all the way around. That would be, I mean, maybe not sensible, but possible, certainly. It's difficult, and they are going to get on the road right now to see what they can find. E-Arena are also starting their move in from South George. As we can see, we're on board of them, just passing the north side of school to head towards the center of this circle as it centers up on that Milter Hill near prison and mansion.
Rotations are coming as we are zooming in to Erangel. What kind of circle are we going to get here? All right, just beautiful center up. Very typical. A lot of these teams were expecting this, and they got it. Now you see Enigma Galaxy, right? They're going to be on both sides of this circle. It's going to be very difficult for them to get to their teammates here, so we'll see how this pays off. But we still got some teams still trying to get in this zone. E-Arena pushing in super late because they land over there in North George. Aura still in Severny. And you got Vitality going on the other bridge here, so they're going to be super late in the circle as well.
Yeah, Vitality's still on the west bridge. I don't like it. I think this is way too long. You're overcommitting. No one's turned up. Not too sure what the game plan was there for Vitality. It's not the same team we saw from their stages.
Sad.
So
Yeah,
unfortunate.
It's the same thing we saw in PMGO too.
Yeah, it's a big drop-off, which I'm sad to see. Enigma Galaxy, they get their back duo caught up in a regroup, and this is exactly what I was worried about. It's only going to be Lord, his vehicle's on fire, and he goes down because he hops out. As it's on fire, they lose their back too. I guess, yeah, Ralph, keep doing that. See how that works out for you.
Yeah, I saw his player cam, and I could see he said, what the heck? You know, what happened? How is this?
Why are there players here in the middle of the circle?
How did I get knocked?
What? Oh, that's crazy.
That's super unfortunate. The 2-2 split, man. I mean, losing players like that is so rough. We'll see how it all continues on, though. That's if we have another match after this, because Nongshim Red Force are on the south side of Milta, full squad, looking dangerous. On the other end, you got the other Titans of the lobby, E-Arena, holding down the north side. So both these teams able to secure position as a full four-man team.
A vice grip on the circle right now, and our teams will look to try and slip that. This is a replay on Lord getting knocked. You can see he drove up. It was actually the hop out that got him. He'd already taken enough damage and hadn't slowed down enough. He hopped out of the vehicle, kept that momentum, and it was the fall. He hit that ground a little bit too fast.
The ankles.
Just rolled the ankle, man.
That
rolled the ankle. And now Coops and Satan have to do it all on their loans. And it's a bad time. It's a bad time. I feel like it may have worked before. Teams maybe weren't necessarily expecting something like that, and they weren't looking for a duo to be rotating in such an early fashion, especially because they know, oh, well, these players haven't lost, so it should be a full four coming from there. But there's been enough games now when Enigma Galaxy have done this that teams should be like, oh, yeah, that's what they do. Let's just clamp down on that.
You know, it's one of those strategies that I don't know whether to be. It's just one of those strats that's just like, okay, it's different. You know what I'm saying? We don't see
one of those bad ones. Yeah, I've heard of those.
It's bad when it doesn't work, right? That's the thing. Is like if it does, it's like, wow, maybe more teams should try this out. But after that, it's like, I think we just stay together. You know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate, especially considering that they're in 5th place, man. If they would have got a 20-point game here, boom, they would have been in that smash zone. Let's see where this next circle goes, though. And things are going to start heating up because we get a nice center up E-Arena are going to be over there in Lipovka, so they're going to have to fight their way into this next circle. But like you mentioned, it is a vice script right now. North and southern side is where the big threats lie. In the middle of the map, though, you got S2G, you got Enigma Galaxy as that duo. Ugh, they had four, right? It is what it is. But you got Team Flash on that ridgeline, too. That is a very, very strong spot. They can be able to hold a lot of real estate there.
That's true over on the east side, but I feel like they do need to move into the west edge of it a little bit further, which is exactly what Bo's decided to do there. They have to transition forward. The 3-building compound that sits sort of in front of them is viable, but it can be very difficult to hold against teams up on the north, especially if you get crashed. Multiple angles can crash onto it as well, so a little bit tenuous when you have to leave that ridgeline for Team Flash. For Nongshim, they're going to play nice and isolated on the southeast side. Remember, it's not big point-scoring games that are necessary. That's not what's going to be weighing on the mind of Nongshim, of E-Arena. It is just that chicken dinner. Be the last player standing. That's the only thing that should be running through their mind right now to try and secure that tournament title, the global stage glory.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. And I hope it doesn't change their play style, because I'm thinking back to PMMI where Tianba had such a massive lead, and they kind of implored that same strategy. Like, hey, let's just put up some basic points. They had so many points, as long as nobody smashed, they were going to win it for the most part. But they changed play styles, and they paid the price for it big time, going from what we thought was Nongshim, who definitely learned from that, if they're going to replicate it or play the game that got them here in the first place.
4 Thrives in that. Last match were able to ignite those afterburners, send them into the stratosphere on the point scoring.